It's Tuesday afternoon, clock's moving slow. We got a spot where the good times go. Kick back, pull up, take a seat. Laughing so hard you forget the week. No script, no rules, just jokes on blast. Stories flying way too fast. If you're bored, well not no more. Cause here we go at 4 o'clock sharp. You hear that knock? That's the fun at the door. Tuesday at 4, yeah, we're hanging out. Got your belly skunky friends all around, talking nonsense, laughing loud. Best damn hang you're gonna find in town. Tuesday at 4.
The following show is being broadcast in front of a live Facebook and YouTube audience and is being brought to you by the Hippie Broadcasting Network, WTHC Radio, and Stoner Records. Now, here are your hosts, Dosa Gonchavelli and Little Skunky.
Yay!
Yay! Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Oh, what is this dude doing up here? You see this shit? He leaves his mark everywhere, hippie. Right here above me. It says happy birthday. I guess.
Is it your birthday?
No. He's just wishing everybody a happy birthday. He's got himself all flexed. He took his shirt off. Look at him. He's buff. Anyway, moving in. Welcome in, everybody. What's up? And welcome back to another edition of Stuffed and Uncensored. I'm your host, Gonchavelli, and joining me today are our friends Little Skunky. Hi, Little Skunky. Aviva and Scribbles. Jeff, and I'm sure Mo will be along shortly if he's just got time, I hope. That being said, now before we get started, I have an important announcement. Skunky, great news. It's official. You have graduated from the University of Facebook and are now certified in cannabis testing expert. Yeah, you're now a certified That's right. He watched
after 42 years, I would think.
He watched 3 videos, read a half a meme, and argued with 2 strangers on the internet. So naturally, he's ready to explain the entire cannabis industry to us today.
Wow.
God help us all. That being said, seriously though, tonight we are diving into the horror stories from the lab. We're talking lab retorts.
What lab?
Lab reports, testing, strange results, consumer confusion, industry headaches, and some of the stories that'll make you look at a little piece of paper stapled to your weed now a little differently. Yeah, that's right. Because, let's be honest, most people buy cannabis the same way they buy a lottery ticket. They see a big THC number and it's go. Yep, that's the one. Meanwhile, nobody knows what half the report actually says. Well, tonight, we're fixing that. We're asking questions, we're telling stories, we're busting myths. And we're probably going to make a few people uncomfortable along the way. So grab your favorite strain, your favorite snack, and your favorite conspiracy theory about cannabis
Go test it.
testing. Because this is Stuffed and Uncensored. And the bullshit detector is officially on. Let's do this. There you go. That was a good one. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Jeff, I have a million questions that people wrote in all week. And then, of course, we have all of your images and your PDFs that you've sent over.
Absolutely. So, how about I start you all off with a story just to make it interesting?
Absolutely. I love stories.
All right. So we always talk about arms race of like pesticides and other various things that people might end up using that are not regulated, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so people will just use the things that are not regulated, so that they're not tested for, and so that they pass. Maybe sometimes they're a good idea, maybe sometimes they're not. But several years ago, we had a person coming in that wanted to do processing, and they were talking about like their new processing method, which was like really, really good and pulled out like more cannabinoids and terpenes and all the other things in their oil to make a better product supposedly. But then they go on to tell me that instead of using traditional methods like alcohol extractions for like RSO or butanes or other things like that, they're like, so we use R134. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that goes in your air conditioning systems, and I'm pretty sure that's like really, really toxic.
Yeah.
Is it tested for?
No, not at all. And that was the deal. Like they knew that they would never be able to fail. And so when we actually looked at how much of the R134, like we got a bottle of it from the auto parts store, and we tested it out, and it was like insanely high. But we also know that those are like pretty carcinogenic as well, and it had a lot of those carcinogens in there, and that was something that would never be checked or tested for.
I am pretty stoned, but I think I'm not understanding.
Okay,
what
can
you're
you say
saying here.
what it's called again?
Am
What
I
is
saying?
the product?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
R134. It's a refrigerant they put in. It's R, the letter R,
R.
and then 134.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you go search like R134 at like AutoZone or Napa or any of these other like auto parts places, like you'll find it. They have cans that you put into your AC system, into your car, or into like older refrigeration systems like air conditioners and homes and things.
Oh yeah, that good stuff.
Yeah.
So can you test? Can you get the things that you need to
Well,
test
I
for
think that Jeff and Mo could positively test for it if they
The
were
markers.
paid appropriately, or if it was something that they could do it for free. But I'm sure it cost them at cost to do it.
So you guys
Whatever.
cash app them the money. How much are the markers?
Oh goodness!
Listeners out there.
So
Get him a marker or two. Everything's gonna be better. Don't worry.
so to my knowledge,
This is
to my
bigger
knowledge,
than
this was the only person that was actually using this extraction technique here in Oklahoma, and they said they learned it from somebody out in California. So I don't know where else it could have been happening, and I don't think that processor is still in business.
everything's California's fault. God
But-
damn it!
I know.
Freaking California.
So what is it, like $300
Bunch of
to get it
geniuses
as a
over
marker
there.
to test for it?
I don't know offhand, but during the break I can go back and probably check it out. But I hope that there are not other people like that are still using this extraction technique. I think at least in Oklahoma there's only like a dozen processors or maybe less. And I say that from the people that are actually doing like the extractions for like distillate and other things. I don't think there are too many that are doing that. And I doubt that they're using the R134 anymore.
We'd hope.
Thank you, Skylar.
Yeah,
It depends on the song.
Yeah, depends on the song.
So I still think it's worth testing some for it because, I have a friend who got polluted RSO and his tumor ended up like growing like 10 times.
Wow.
And I'm wondering if it was that
What impurities?
R134.
Well, I mean, there's so many carcinogens that could be used. Like we talk about pesticides all the time. There's a lot of carcinogenic pesticides and things that are not like looked for. Like PGRs are usually pretty carcinogenic as well. Some states actually test for one of them called paclobutrazole, but there are other PGRs that are used as well.
I was gonna say that, Skunky.
Paclobutrazole?
Yeah, that was my next comment. It was good.
So what does PGR stand for?
Sure.
As opposed to PG-13. That's gross.
Yeah, so I think it's like a plant growth regulator, if I remember correctly. And so basically what it does is like it ends up creating a bunch of bulk and weight to the flour. It makes it flour really, really fast.
Heavier.
Make it weigh a little heavier.
Yeah.
It's like the growth hormone they put in chicken.
Yeah, but you can,
They
yeah,
don't
just
do
like,
that. That's fake news.
just like, yeah, but if you look at like more like locally sourced chickens versus like commercially farmed ones and like the differences in them, you can see kind of the effects on PGRs and buds. And if you're in any of the cannabis groups online, sometimes you'll see the picture of like a flower that is like all fluffy, and then one that's like really dense and doesn't have much structure to it. It just looks like kind of like a compact bud, and that's usually that's a sign that they could be using a PGR. Not necessarily that they are, but
Or
you
a
can.
form of it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Both
that you
will
have
vary,
those
right,
kind of
Stumpy?
visual markers. We need more about that, like how to pick a ripe watermelon. You know, like how to know that cannabis is not.
Yeah,
meant
so
for-
like just kind of like how we talk about red flags with like test results, like looking at the bud and like if it has the kind of that really dense hard structure to it, but it's not super high in THC or anything else, like they're just kind of more red flags of like this product may just be completely bogus.
You make my
Wow.
you make
I-
my heart pitter patter every week. I gotta tell you.
I know we gotta
With
isolate some of this
anticipation on
knowledge and
how
do
much
like
I'm not
5-minute
gonna be
videos,
wanting
Jeff,
to
for
do this
real.
thing.
I remember some of the beginning in the market
Gotta
where
go back to the bows.
I remember in the beginning of the market hearing rumors that people saw in Oklahoma that we weren't testing for PGRs, so they were really pushing it to get more weight. And it
So
was
are you testing for it now?
no, not
Well, yeah,
Right.
not officially. So we can actually
not officially.
look at
Yeah,
we can look at the paclobutrazole. We just are not ISO accredited for it yet. So like if someone were testing like the expanded pesticide panel or anything for like hemp purposes or anything, then we could measure 55 right now total pesticides, and that also includes the paclobutrazole as well.
yeah.
Speaking of
Okay.
Oklahoma, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Viva.
I said, okay, we need to get on that.
Speaking of Oklahoma, Sarah from Tulsa, Oklahoma asks, "What's the biggest misconception consumers have about cannabis testing?" Jeffrey.
Well, I mean, we talk about this a lot, so I'm going to point out the obvious one, but in Oklahoma, we have this really bad problem with these inflated THC and terpene numbers. And in fact, that spreadsheet that I sent to you a day or two ago kind of shows that, like,
Is that this one? Can I put it up over our faces?
sure, the
Hold on.
spreadsheet, sure.
Yeah, I got it. I think right here. This one. Bam.
Bam.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically,
Can you explain it without having to be there? Because that's the best I can do right now.
yeah, no, that's perfect. So I'm just going to explain the first three columns on there. So
Funky.
it
No,
lists these-
why you got a chance? Go ahead,
I
Jeff.
already have been.
Nice. So the left column there shows like the strain name that we checked out, and this is for 20 different samples we checked in April. The first column says label THC, so that was like the THC that was on the label. And the first one's like they're up there in the 30s.
I see. 32, 30, 32. And then we dropped
Yeah,
down to
absolutely.
23, I think.
And so the second column that says measured THC is what we measured in the lab. And then
so that's what you actually came up with. So there's the difference right there. Oh, is the difference 50? Oh, yeah. Okay, shut up.
Yeah, no, you're good. And then the third column says the difference. And so for Oklahoma, they're allowed a 15% variation. And if it's outside of the 15%, then it's highlighted in red, which you can see the majority of the samples that we tested, like most of them are actually red.
That's encouraging.
If you don't want to die from neuropathy.
I don't want to die from neuropathy.
So look at I think the worst performing one was like, if you look at the very last one called Gemstones, like it said it was 30.81% THC, but we measured it at 16.62. So that was
a difference of 40. What does that say? My eye is still bothering me a little.
46%.
46%.
Yeah, so like if you're buying, once again, for me, I'm like, if I'm trying to buy a product that's like a legit 30% and I'm getting 16%, it's like, where's the other half of what I bought, you know?
Yeah, well, that's just in the surcharges, I'll tell you.
I guess so.
Yeah, you pay extra for that fancy name there, I'll tell you, gemstones or whatever they're called. You gotta pay a little extra for that. All right, can I take this down? Are you good with this? I have all those images. Do you want to go through the images while we're here?
Yeah.
All right, Skunky's like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all right. I can sit over here with my puppet off. All right, so here, whoa.
My smoking hand.
Oh, well, it switches very periodically. I'm over here if you see me. What is
That's
this we're
upside down.
looking at, Jeff? This seems pretty high in THC.
So that's the gemstone sample that we
Fairly
were just
low in
talking about.
terps. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that was the gemstone samples we were just talking about that was measured at 16.6.
What is gemstones? Is that the strain or is that the grower or
Yeah,
whatever?
So yeah, gemstones was the strain.
Okay.
Okay. Is it also like hard crystals, like that type of gemstone, like the rocks, or is that just a name to try to fool you?
Yeah, so that was just the strain name. I mean, there's all sorts of interesting strains that come about. And
Yeah,
this
there's a
just
couple
happened
new
to be one of them.
Ganjavelli ones coming out. You keep your eyes out for them, guys.
Mm.
That being said, moving on. This one. Here we go.
Yeah, that one was like second to last on that list. But essentially, these are just these are showing the product labels of the products that were submitted to us for testing.
All right.
That's
all
a
right.
cool
Move
name. I'd
on.
try that one.
Apple tarts.
I'd try that.
I guess the important thing to kind of note from all these is that, like,
Look at how low the terpenes. Am I wrong, Jeffrey? Shouldn't the terpenes be a little higher on those for such a quality batter, or what is it?
not necessarily so. I would say that
I have
typically,
no idea what I'm talking about, folks. So don't worry about me.
I would
Go
say
ahead,
for bud that hasn't been processed, so like if it's not in pre-roll or if it's not
Bud?
shake or
I thought
trim.
this was dabs or something. Batter.
No, these are
2.5 grams. Yeah, nice. All right.
yeah, these are glass jars that are
Just
that
a
they're
Turned
putting.
upside down.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Here's a bag of something.
Yeah, that was some of
That's
the
a bag of Jawea.
That's more flour. Orozio.
Oreos.
Are these from dispensaries in your state or just what?
Yeah, so these are growers or processors that are in our state, and
Okay.
so we have people
Shout
that will,
out. Woo woo.
so yeah, we have people that will submit samples to us, and so they're checking the THC that we measure versus the product labels, and so all of these samples that you're seeing are ones that were submitted to our lab for third-party verification.
What was the biggest
So-
comment when you got these samples? The people saying, you were like, "Are we fucked? Are we dying?" Is that like one of the first comments?
So these are patients sending this to you, correct?
People
not
who are
the-
concerned about their health.
Lab?
Yes, that is correct. So
Okay.
these aren't samples that we actually physically picked up and did
Right.
a study on. These are samples that were submitted to the lab to check.
Well, I'm not going to continue
Got
going through these because they're just basically packages with the same stuff on that list. We can go back to that list if you want to and talk more about that. I'm happy.
Well,
Does everybody have their clothes on? I forgot to ask before I came back. Mo.
Yeah.
All right, you're good. All right. Anyway, that being said, I got another question, of course, from Mike, our friend Mike in Denver, Colorado. He asks, how often do experts see lab reports that raise red flags?
I guess that would depend on which experts you're talking to. So there are a lot of data scientists and data analysts that are looking through all these the metric data that is transparent, like the seed to sale program data that's transparent. They will look through this data and see if there's any weird trends, and it happens actually quite often to where there's all sorts of different types of discrepancies, and there's a lot of potency inflation that's happening to some degree in most all of the states that have some kind of cannabis program in them. So I would say often on that.
Wow.
I would say on the first question, one of the other misconceptions, I guess, rather than THC and terps, is also just the idea that if something gets tested at a laboratory and it gets stamped off and approved, doesn't necessarily mean it's completely safe.
Food is good. He's right.
I think that is a big misconception, is that they assume because it meets the government standards. That doesn't mean it should meet your body standards.
Welcome in, Sean. How are you? I'm listening, Mo. You're very intelligent. Keep
No,
going.
no. I'm just saying in general.
Trying to catch up on the chat here. Go
No,
ahead.
no, you're fine. I'm just saying in general. Yeah, just I think having some other standard
Right.
would be a very valuable thing, and just because the government approves or it's to the government standard or to the agency standard that runs the cannabis program in your state does not necessarily mean that it is safe and good for consumption. There's a lot of holes in the system.
I agree. Dave from Pittsburgh, right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, says, why do some dispensaries seem obsessed with THC percentages?
Well, I mean, overall, the market, I think, is the sales and everything are based off of THC. And I think that's something that's very much driven to patients and also to between the dispensaries and the grows to sell their products. Like the higher the THC, the more perceived better the product is. But like I said, like what if you have a really high THC, but you also have a bunch of that R134 in your sample? Then how good of a product is it really?
I think it's not about being better. It's about being able to charge more.
Yeah, but that's because the patient perceives it to be more valuable.
Right.
So then it's like a transition. I know certain people that run a dispensary, and they try to educate people on this stuff all the time when they come in, and they'll see the regulars still come in and be like, what's your highest THC percentage? So then it becomes a rat race of whatever lab's willing to inflate whatever numbers.
And you know what's sad is because us with the knowledge here, we know that, if you've paid attention anytime in the last 4 or 5, 6, 7 months we've been doing this, you've heard rumors that you don't need that 38% THC or 50% or 100% THC in some places. You can get away with a good 17 with some good terpene profile, knock you on your ass. That being said, unfortunately, not enough people buy that. So then when you're in the dispo, you're buying nugs that are just hard, crunchy, dried up, old because they're just sitting around. And when you come in with your knowledge, you're like, give me a 17 over here. And then it comes out and it's like, break the wall.
Hey, so let's circle back around to that spreadsheet we were talking about. And it's like, you think that you're buying a 30%, but it's a 16. So like, are you really getting this 30 or 35 or whatever it is you're chasing? It's probably like it could be half. It could very well be half of the THC. And if you're enjoying that product, then buy it for its quality. And
buy it for its cost, not for whatever.
Quality can be subjective, and that's the rough part.
Oh my God, though, it's so. You don't have a choice, though. We don't have a choice. That's the thing. As a patient, when I walk in there, I get a list of whatever the hell they have, and that's it. And oh God,
what's a good metaphor? Like, could we compare it with caffeine? Like, you don't really want too much caffeine.
Jeff always uses alcohol, like Everclear. Do you really want the Everclear, or would you rather have a nice smooth like whiskey? Right? Do you want?
I like that.
That's a good
one. And like I think the rough part is like education going to the patients. If there was branding and certain brands that were really advocating for full transparency all the way through, then a nice solution would be that for those patients to know that's an option and know they're not getting any impurities in their medicine, to then go to the dispensary, because the dispensaries are just playing that game. So go to the dispensaries and be like, hey, do you have this brand? And then they're like, no, we don't. Well, why? Well, the reason I want this brand is because I know it. I know all the way through. I get to see all the inputs into that cannabis, into my medicine, because it's supposed to be natural. I mean, pharmaceutical companies come over and they do GMO strains, which is what they're going to want to do, because they want to patent whatever strains and whatever inventions they do, rather than like, hey, an advocacy of the patients being like, dude, I want the natural medicine and I want to see all the inputs that are put into it. Then hopefully the dispensary starts seeing supply and demand, and then they go, okay, let's reach out to this grow or this group of grows that are willing to be transparent, and then supply and demand. Maybe you can actually get a better product, and you can actually get a better price for your product.
I hope so. No, that's a really good point. Speaking of natural, do you think that it's edibles that kind of put this idea that people need higher THC because they're either ediblocked or have blocked livers and can't process the THC as well?
So I always thought in the liver it goes 3x, right? But if you're saying if they're blocked, then I'm not familiar. So I mean
That's a
that
good
seems
answer.
very interesting. Yeah, I always
Yeah.
thought for me, anytime I've ever taken an edible, like 5 milligram, I'm weak.
Yep.
I'm so weak. I'll take 5 milligrams and I'll be on my ass.
Well,
And
it's a
I'm
whole
like,
different chemical reaction.
yeah. I'm like it's a lot for me. It is a lot for me.
Well, I'm going to tell you something real quick. I want to cut it. This week I changed over. I went from whatever when they make their dabs with when butane, or what do you call that shit? When they make it with butane or with
Benzene?
or whatever, you know. When
Yeah,
the-
solvent
with solvents,
extraction.
yeah, and things like that. Things that I don't want, right? I don't want that stuff if I don't need it. So I switched over this week. I've paid a pretty penny. I normally would get like 8 or 10 grams for the price that I only got 4 for this week. But I am much happier with my taste,
Heck yeah.
my flavor, my terpene profile, my chat GPT was proud of me. He said I did a good job. He said, very proud of you. Belly, you bought quality stuff. And now I'm paying $40 for a fucking gram on sale.
So did you go solventless?
God bless. Yeah, I went rosin, fresh rosin, fresh pressed rosin. And I love it. I love it. The high is amazing. The flavor is amazing. No additives, right? Am I right? No additives. It's just
It's supposed to be just water, yeah, ice.
just
Yeah.
crushing it. No, just crushing it with warm press, like a warm press, and it oozes out and turns into love. We'll call it love. Yeah. And so now I've been nectar collecting that stuff, and my
A
God,
nectar collector.
yeah, the taste of the nectar collector with that stuff. Oh, hi, Cherry Hayes, our meteorologist.
They need to
Cherry
name a
Hayes is here.
strain after you called nectar collector.
The nectar collector over here. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I've been very proud, and I bought a little bit of flour when I was there, and I said, you know what, I'm going to spend a little extra on the flour this week as well, and you know, you get what you pay for. I'm going to tell you honestly. You go in there, but you got to still do your research. You still need to be an educator. I'm not saying, hey, you get what you... But when I was going in there, I was buying all the cheap shit. And now I see the error in my ways.
Well, hey,
Does it, but it feels different.
Well, but also keep in mind your guest from a few months ago. Just because it's a premium product doesn't also mean that it's.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's
I
unfair.
read I looked into that shit, too. I was like, are you guys undercover as somebody else? Because for crying out loud, I've heard some horror. Well, that's what I want to talk about. We got another half hour left. I want to talk about horror stories. Like, oh my God, like what we heard that day when we had that guest on, me and Skunky and the hippie had, young lady, whatever, Samantha, I think her name was. Samantha was on. And then she had horror stories. Now, give me some good horror stories, Jeff and Mo.
Yeah, my friend had to cut his ear off.
What? Van Gogh?
Marijuana!
Van Gogh?
Well, yeah, because the tumor got so big
Oh,
after
my
RSO.
You were talking about that
After
same
the
dude.
polluted RSO, yeah.
Was he putting the RSO topically on?
Yeah.
Or was he injecting it into his throat like I
I guess
like to
you'd
do?
have to ask him. Maybe we
Oh,
could have
okay.
him on sometime. But
Man.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Is he still with us?
yeah.
Oh God,
yeah.
send him my prayers.
Oh yeah, I mean
and
he
my
got
love.
good
Here
stuff
is
and healed it all naturally, finally. But
Oh, then he actually got good RSO and then countered it.
Oh,
Wow, that's awesome.
God.
It just
Who
shows.
would
It just
have
shows.
but he
thought
did but he did have to chop
We
his
don't
ear off.
want to call
Yeah.
them out, right? We don't want to call them out. All right, Jeff, go ahead. I'm sure you got a million things that we've wanted to talk about over the years here while we've been doing this stuff, the Uncensored show. I'm gonna give you the floor. Scare the shit out of us. I want people to understand. Like,
I'm not educated.
I don't wanna say this because I don't wanna insult or hurt anybody. But like we gotta look at the stuff. I don't know. Go ahead, Jeff. I give up.
Sure. So another story that I wanted to share was from a 2022 inspection from our administration. It was quite crazy. So
Well, that's what I didn't want. I didn't want you to keep calling out Oklahoma, but go ahead.
sure. I mean, why not? Like, it's a good place
This
to
is where
start.
we're at. This is where we're
Yeah,
at.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So
You're
So
in
we had
testing our
inspectors
state.
Yeah, but I feel like we're picking on Oklahoma, and I don't want to pick on.
I mean, in a
Oklahoma.
way, Oklahoma.
But
is
that's what
saturating
I was
the
going to
whole
say
market.
before. If we look at where Oklahoma stands in comparison to a lot of things in the country, all right, and that's probably the nicest way I could say it. You dumbasses.
Well, where do they stand?
Where do they? Well, they're like zero in education, and they test for 13 chemicals, so they're not standing very tall over there, showing off their smarts. No offense, Oklahoma,
Hey.
I love you guys,
hey,
but
look, we're not 0, we're 50th.
Yeah.
whatever. I
Maybe.
don't want to. Listen, I don't even know where Pennsylvania stands, but what I'm saying is that. Look where it's coming from. These guys are in Oklahoma. My God, it can't get much worse. So if these guys are bad, God, think about all the rest of us and how bad it could be. Is that coming out wrong? It might be. I'm sorry. I love it.
No, it's great.
I love you guys. I don't want you guys to be sick. And that's why I spend a lot of time over here in Oklahoma.
Hell yeah.
The hippie. But anyway, go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead. Tell us a story. Scared the
All
shit
right.
out of me.
All right, back to the story. It's a inspection we had in 2022. We had a bunch of people that came in to try to inspect our lab. So keep in mind that 2 months before we had our ISO auditors, and ISO is basically an international it's an international standard. And there are different groups that audit to this international standard that are experts in chemistry and biology and the things that we need to do. And we did extremely well on that. Almost had no deficiencies whatsoever. And then 2 months later, we have our administration that comes in and does an inspection. They write us up 28 pages of deficiencies, none of which were actually valid and that we got excused. But the way they went about themselves as they were in our lab was the far more interesting thing. So we have a cabinet full of concentrated acids, and if you touch these acids, they are concentrated. They basically will cause your hands to blister in the skin to come off. Some will
yeah. All right.
some
Yeah.
will seize up your joints.
That
all
kind of acid, not the good kind. The stuff that
not
hurts.
the kind. I mean, even the vapors will cause your eyes and your nose to bleed pretty bad and cause eye damage. So they opened the acid cabinet to look at the acids, and then just started handling all the acid bottles with their hands, no gloves or anything.
What?
Again,
And I
point,
told him, I was like,
Ganja
I was like,
Valley.
hey,
Point Ganja Valley on the whole Oklahoma thing again.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
yeah. So I'm telling them, I'm like, hey,
Jesus, I'm
y'all can go
telling
look
you,
around and do whatever you
Jesus.
want in our lab because you're allowed to. However, there's some kind of problems with safety here. Can you at least wear gloves? And they just all looked at me for a second.
Like what?
And
We're
then they
gonna
just
waste gloves? No
Yeah, and then
way, man. We'll use one pair and we'll share it.
No, but then they all
They wouldn't
turned
even
back
use
around
any.
and started handling the bottles again. They just looked at me for a second in amazement that I said anything, and then they turned back around and started handling all
And
the
then they
acid
wrote
bottles
you
again.
up for 6 fouls for talking.
Do you
about
have
it,
that
son
like
of a bitch.
on camera? Like, were you filming it?
We didn't have
Security?
cameras back then.
There wasn't transparency
I
back
wish.
then.
I wish.
Yeah.
But I always encouraged all the employees to be around and to talk with the administration and all that. So basically it was for our own so we'd have multiple people that heard and saw what was going on during these inspections, because they are usually a very chaotic mess. They are very disorganized, and then the way that they carry themselves is pretty unprofessional and unsafe. So we need people to be able to see
And
what
they're the ones judging you.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
best part is they're the ones that are out telling you how you're doing shit wrong.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
back
And
at
then-
the ranch.
So
Yeah.
in the same inspection, though, they came out and they were handling. So we do have some chemicals that are carcinogenic that we look for, like the mycotoxins, and these are basically kind of carcinogenic and poisonous compounds that come from different types of fungus, like aspergillus and penicillium and things. And
Yeah.
so one of the inspectors went into the freezer and grabbed that with their bare hands as well, and was putting it out on the counter, and we're like,
Everybody take a sip. Smell it. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're just like handling all these things without gloves, and then they're like kind of harassing us about how we were doing things, and I'm like, hey, look, like
We're
y'all
doing
really
it a
like,
lot better than that, bitch.
so I mean,
No. Stop. You're making me cry over here. My God, you poor bastards. Somebody
Yeah.
get them all out of Oklahoma. My
Well,
God.
The problem is it's not just Oklahoma, though.
No, I know. There's
Yeah.
worse. That's the sad part is there's worse. There's worse.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, that being said, that is horrible. Horrible, Jeffrey. I cannot believe that shit.
I mean,
So what
a lot
happened?
of this is
Did they
PG.
get hurt?
Well, no, they're not
Wait
going
to
to
be
report
seen.
back to Jeffrey. They're not
Yeah,
going to.
yeah, so-
They went home and they licked their wounds and their tongue sizzled off. But then, but after
What?
that, they were like, as soon as they could get their writing fingers back, they were like, we're going to write that son of a bitch up for fucking
Well, yeah.
600 fouls for burning our fingers off. I'll tell you what.
yeah, so they did write us up for supposedly
just
28 pages
absurd.
of violations, and then when I answered back that like they didn't ask for
Can
documents
we
or they
call
didn't.
out their names? Give me their names. I want to call them out.
Oh, sure, I'll do that real fast.
Send it over to me. I'm
I'll
going to
send it
put it all out on the air. I'm calling these.
No, we don't do that.
Still got to deal with these guys? Should I ixnay on the talking out there? Do they still
Yes,
come and play with your chemicals?
yeah, they don't come out very often.
Periodically?
So.
Yeah, periodically. I'm sure they could just walk in. They're listening right now. Come on, we're ready for you. We got a fresh bottle of acid over here, you dumbasses.
So yeah, we do hear that they actually do pay attention to social media and things like this. So I'm sure somebody's listening, and all we're doing is just kind of like letting them know, like, hey, we remember this.
Well, we're not stupid.
didn't
is
forget.
what we're saying.
So what happened? Like, did you
God.
contest it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
your fouls, were they legitimate? No, you didn't have 28 pages.
no, but
Fine.
so essentially what they made me do is they made me answer them if they as if they were wrong. But my final statement was like, well, you didn't ask for the document, you did. And then
Skunky's got a cold sore. You all right over there, buddy? You got a cold sore? I keep seeing you playing with your lip.
Yeah.
You got
Okay, what
herpes
happened, Jeff?
again.
Yeah. What happened?
yeah, so they made me answer for these 28 pages of potential violations, and then I provided the documents that they forgot to ask for during the inspection, and then they end up getting, as far as I know, they got dismissed a few months later, but they still made me answer for everything as if I had done something wrong in our procedures. So I still had to write another like 30, 40 pages of responses to like, oh, here's what would happen if we did, but we actually didn't. And here's the documents you forgot to ask for, the things that you forgot to look for, the data files, whatever it was. So yeah, it was a mess. It was definitely.
So
a
you
mess.
got it dismissed in like 3 months.
Yeah, I think within 3 to 6 months it was all done. But that was the thing. Like we had just gotten an inspection from from an ISO auditing agency like a few months before with a near perfect score.
Yeah, way more experience from ISO. They're 80 plus years. Like they know what they're doing. And then from an agency that's only been around so long that they act like they're an authority and they really don't know what. From what our experience is, it doesn't really seem like they really know what the heck they're talking about.
Sounds like an HOA.
Yeah.
Homeowners Association.
But they are the authority.
They are the authority in
Yeah.
Well,
And that's
it is
kind
their
of
title
what.
anyways.
And I think right now,
if you guys look at it like that and you just follow the fucking rules for crying out loud and stop giving them a hard time, everything would be fine.
Isn't the CANRA thing happening here in Oklahoma? So like a national CANRA thing is happening here in Oklahoma?
Yes, they are here right now.
Yeah.
What is that?
So that's kind of where we're getting at is like, this is not just an Oklahoma problem. This is like a national issue where these
I know.
cannabis
This is
regulators get
countrywide.
together. Well, my point is they're at a conference right now in Oklahoma getting together. And so they know about the problems across the industry. I think we sent you that one video from California, right?
Yeah,
where the
but-
guy was,
They don't invite you.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
see
like,
our
what's the
numbers are
use of
going up
having
quickly over
a
here.
cannabis regulation organization that no one's invited to except the people that they invite who don't
The
know as
people
much as
that
you guys?
follow
Yeah.
the
Seems-
rules.
seems
That
like
sounds like our government, though. doesn't it?
seems like manipulation
No.
considering we're a private company that's transparent and they're not even a government that's transparent.
So hold on.
It's a power thing.
So just to clarify, we could get into this meeting. I don't think we'd be able to talk, but we'd also have to spend $1,000 per ticket just to show up
I
and
don't have
maybe be
You
able
want
to.
to play, you got to pay.
Are you
You
sure?
gotta
Because
pay,
I
you
tried
gotta
to get
pay.
into the meeting when it was in Atlanta, and they said I wasn't invited.
As far as I understand, that the tickets were about $1,000 or maybe more
Tell
each.
them you're with WTHC Radio.
No, you're not
Live,
allowed.
and
Like
you are
no
a
educational or activist groups are allowed. Like only
Invite only.
government regulators.
I think this one
supposedly.
is actually a public meeting, so you can actually buy into it.
Public meetings are supposed to be
That sounds
free.
like conspiracy right there. It's
Yeah, good point.
not allowed. You can buy in.
Yeah, public. They
Well,
All
it's
right.
paid
Well, we
for.
should
Yeah,
we should try to get an insider like to film it.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
I mean, really, it's more the
I
private
should-
conversations that I think happen where they understand the issues that are happening across multiple states, and it seems like
$1,000 and tape it, Mo.
rather than actually solving any of the problems, it seems like seeing those problems transpire across multiple states. Not even
I've seen the agenda as public domain, but I haven't seen any videos from the meetings yet. I don't know if anyone else has.
No. I'm not. Anyway, we got to move on. We're falling behind. Mo, Jeff, what is this stuff you got here?
So so we sent the COAs that we got that were basically the comparison against those labels that we were talking about before in that spreadsheet. So all these are the test results for the different strains that we got. So it gives kind of the breakdown of like the major cannabinoids and the terpenes that came off of these samples.
All right, well, looking at this one, I can't read it very well, but I think it's Blue Coffee Report, right? Is that correct?
That was one of the samples, yeah.
The flower only tested at 16% total THC, which is a lot of dispensary shoppers, which a lot of dispensary shoppers might consider average or low by today's standards. But the terpene profile shows strong caryophyllene, limonene, and lionol with, if I'm saying that right, distinct cinnamon, orange, lavender, apple, and hope aromas. So here's my question, Jeff. Have we created a cannabis culture where consumers are chasing THC percentages and completely ignoring what may actually be responsible for the experience? If a patient walked into a dispensary and passed on this flower because it wasn't 30% THC, what might they be missing?
Yeah, so I think from a lot of the social media posts that we've done, there are a lot of people that say that when they're experienced smokers that they won't be chasing those THC numbers. Like they will look for things that react with them really well. They'll find these particular strains that'll be a little more balanced or reasonable numbers, or that have like the higher terpenes over the THC, and that seems to be common between a lot of more seasoned smokers. So
Well, this is going to bring me back to my question or my comment from earlier. I went out and I bought different stuff this week. I was telling you kids about it earlier. And that included some new flour this week. And I'm going to tell you, the high is lasting longer. The taste is tasting better. The flavor sticks around in my jowls like a woolly mammoth. I don't know what that means. But
And
it's
just to be
there.
clear, that that COA, it was actually 18% THC if you added the Delta 9.
My apologies.
that's total.
yeah, that's total. So that's Delta 9
Delta 9
and the
included.
THCA combined together.
My apologies.
Yeah, well, the total also
I take my
included
apologies.
CBGA, which was 19%.
I'm
But
That would be total cannabinoids, not total THC.
You've been
Right,
very
right.
quiet today.
Yeah.
But okay, so my question is this: if you've got some flour that's been sprayed with stuff, is that spray processed like an edible? Like because it's like you're digesting it more than smoking it?
So, okay, so the way I understand how some people do this, especially with like hemp products, is like they'll take a distillate. So let's just say it is Delta 9 distillate. and they take that Delta 9 and they'll put some solvents in it to get it to where it's actually liquid enough to spray on something, and then you'll spray that on the flower. So as you smoke the flower that has been sprayed, you'll inhale it just like regular smoke as well. This would be like having an infused pre-roll that has like maybe some hash or distillate or something else that's in it. You're still going to get it in the smoke.
But I wonder though if when you put your lips on it, it's like you're actually ingesting it with your saliva a little bit.
Maybe.
I'm sure some.
Don't add to it, Aviva.
I'm just saying. It's another reason to not want it, because it confuses the system.
I still, as a strong, I don't know what I'm saying, but grow your own for fuck's sake, and make sure you do it right. That's I know I'm afraid of everything now. This show has scared the crap out of me, Skunk. You were right, bro.
I mean, you saying you bought like what seems like better products and having a longer high.
Absolutely.
I've had
my yes man, ChatGPT, he said, "Good
yes,
shit, Ganja Valley. Good shit you bought."
So some friends that I've put them on some growers that I know here that are very clean and do things the right way, they notice a drastic difference. They'll be like, I'm not getting headaches. I'm actually, the high lasts longer. It's actually way better.
So
and
Tell me about the
I actually
headaches.
use less.
What kind of headaches do they get?
That's why I was assuming it may be from like impurities. I think I didn't really ask them the description of like whether they were temple or like front or back or what type of headaches, but I think from them noticing
a survey here at Stuffed and Uncensored, if you suffer from headaches after or just in general smoking weed, I would think after smoking weed, if it gives you headaches, please write it in the chat where you got it.
Is it like a debilitating headache where like you have to sleep it off?
I don't know. I don't know if that. I imagine it would depend on how much usage and what type of product, how many impurities you're dealing with. I mean, it's like the example of Summer and Charles from Patients for Safe Access, where they took a pre-roll from Oklahoma, took it over to California and got it tested, and it failed for 19 pesticides.
God, do you think activated charcoal would help with that? Like if they ingested a half a teaspoon in lemonade or something.
So we have to eat charcoal.
I don't know about the lungs though. I don't know about through the lungs and through you're going to your bloodstream, but I imagine on like maybe an edible. Maybe. So
maybe just steaming if it's in your lungs, like a hot steam shower to clean the lungs.
Maybe.
I like to think about solutions also.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
We're having problems.
What we love about you here.
You have to start eating edibles in the shower.
Rosemary, like essential.
We gotta eat edibles in the shower.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Gonjavelli.
Yes, ma'am.
You're good stuff. Did you go to a different dispensary, or is it the same dispensary, just different stuff?
Dispensary. I was just this guy over here, fat ass, he was just a cheap ass as well, come to find out. He's buying all the garbage over there. We went in there, we took our time, and we said, we're going to work a little harder on being an educated consumer this week. And we're going to go in there, we're going to buy RSO. We're not going to get not RSO, I'm sorry. We're going to buy fresh pressed rosin because I've heard that it is much, much better for you. And you don't get all those chemicals. Like, who wants butane? I don't even want butane when I use my butane to torch my torch to stuff.
So how does rosin compare to RSO, like with THC percentage?
Well, you never know. Those are all lies.
Jeff. Jeff.
I was going to say, I think RSOs I've seen kind of between like the 60 to 80% range overall. It depends on how much they're also post-processed, because there's a lot of things that come out with the RSO, including other plant compounds and things. So like if they're darker, they're usually processed less. And if they're lighter colors, they're processed more. But like on the rosins and all, they're just heat pressed, and it's just whatever the fats, waxes, and terpenes, cannabinoids, all of those, like all that's coming out, and it's just a completely different process. And I would say like those probably are in the same range, but it's really strain specific how much THC comes out of those.
And you don't smoke RSO, but you smoke the rosin?
I mean, I think you can smoke RSO, but typically I think it's like
What are
either.
we talking about here?
But yeah, I think it's usually taken like either orally or in other ways.
Topically. Yeah,
Yeah.
topically.
Or
Yeah.
topically.
Or suppositories.
Yeah, sometimes they're taking
Yeah,
like
you can
spot
boost
I have a friend. They had they have
Sometimes on a potato skin.
colon
Sometimes
cancer,
on some pizza.
and I made them suppositories out of RSO
I'm gonna take some now.
and like coconut.
Sometimes on a piece of chocolate.
Mhm.
I just took some. There you go. We don't recommend that at home. Don't drink it all. Jeff, here's some more of those COAs. I know you want to keep talking about these. These are crazy.
Yeah,
Should I
well,
Get you some more questions, or you want to?
Oh my God, you didn't do your commercial break on Javelli. It's already.
Oh, it's okay. We've talked to the boss. He said it's okay. We'll do it later.
nice, nice.
It's been an amazing show. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, once again, these are just kind of the results that we got. It's more of just the breakdown of what's on that spreadsheet. So
You can scroll down. There's terpenes and other stuff.
yeah, there's terpenes on the
look,
bottom and like the
look, there's
profiles of
more.
those. So.
You should have told me there was more, guys.
So,
Yep, 2 pages to every report on those. So
Orange, cinnamon, apple, hops, wood. See, I called it all out before.
Mhm.
Very nice. Cherry
Which terpene
gelato.
is cinnamon?
it's the caryophyllene.
Caryophyllene. Anything with a little bit of kick to it. Anything spicy, I think, is caryophyllene, right?
So yeah, it
Peppery.
depends on if it's oxidized or not. So like some of these are oxidized versions. So the one form of caryophyllene is cinnamon, and the other form is black pepper, and it just depends on whether it's oxidized or not.
I'm going to post these up to the YouTube page. If you guys want to go over and check them out, you can come check them out in the post. I'm going to put every one of these. Can Jeff, is there anything illegal on there that I shouldn't be sharing out?
I don't think there's an issue with putting them out.
No names or nothing that you got to worry about?
I think that we're okay, but I'll do a quick review after we're done here.
All right, yeah, just hit me up and let me know if we're good, and then I'll post them up on the YouTube. So
Which
people
one
can
is
get them.
apple?
There was two samples. I think there was an apple fritter and an apple tarts, maybe.
Yeah, I think she's wondering what terpene is apple.
What terpene is apple?
You're
Oh,
correct.
Apple.
I don't recall offhand.
I'm gonna say it is
Let's take a guess.
Gramininol.
I was thinking it was Goyle too.
See, I knew it.
Guido.
Think alike.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can figure out how to do another
Or
one. of
a
these.
humalin.
Let's see if I can figure out how to do another one of these. This one's done. This one's done. Oh, God damn
Yeah.
it, that didn't work.
I think the wild thing about all this is just you have a medicinal program and you have agencies that aren't really treating it like medicine, and
Yeah.
Like, it
government
pisses me
agencies
off.
treating
It's
it
like,
like
we're getting
something-
ready to vote
something to
for
demonize.
recreational here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you're right, Mo.
Oh, sorry, Mo. I wasn't. I
no,
was-
you're fine. No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm like, we're on the verge of voting for recreational here. I'm like, you can't even get medical right. Why are we gonna bring rec in? But I want my friends to be able to enjoy themselves. It's not fair to them that there's a bunch of dumbasses in charge over here.
I mean, they
Yeah,
basically need to like turn all
You
the
gotta
dispensaries
pick them.
into recreation, and then like the medical need to have like a
Dumbasses.
total different like pharmaceutical. I don't
Yeah.
know. Look, you know, because like Mo was saying, it is basically just the recreation marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
taking these
Like
fees
it's like
off
going
licenses.
into like to get your Benadryl into a liquor store. You know.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that these agencies
love,
take
Frank.
these fees for medical, and then they really have products out there that are not really being checked as being medical. So it's like you're paying your
He's big,
patient
Frank.
license to have a right to have access to medicine, and then they're not even checking. Really, they're sabotaging the medicine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, from the horror stories of our stuff, like just even our from
I
like
don't think they
lawyers that I've
respect
heard
it.
to
I
defend.
feel like they're disrespecting the bush.
I think Philip Morris and certain ones may have a vested interest in them disrespecting it on purpose.
Absolutely. They've been
Yeah.
holding on to those royalties those names and whatever
Yeah.
for their
And
marijuana cigarettes.
the youth is smoking less and less nicotine cigarettes, so they're
Absolutely. They're
they're
already
looking to
prepared.
pivot to
You'll
survive.
You'll
Yeah.
see there. It'll come out. Philip
Yeah.
Morris has got a bunch of names already ready for all their different
Yeah.
strains of marijuana that are going to come out. You're going to come in packs of 20 or 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
However, at 1 gram, so a pack of 30 1-gram joints, with all their new additives and
Yeah.
to make it not start fires or to go out if I fall asleep or all that other
It'd be
poisons to make it burn slower.
Yeah,
So it's
it'd be great.
$100.
It'd be great to have a counterculture that just wants transparency and truth, that to counter the bullshit and the for-profit machine that doesn't really care about your health.
We just have to do it. Like someone needs to open up a medical dispensary and be the example.
All right, I'll do it. God,
All right,
Yay,
I'll do
ganja
it.
bellies,
Woo, woo,
ganja.
woo, woo.
take out a couple
Gotcha,
more.
gotcha.
I'm gonna start this shit up.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping to possibly do in Oklahoma.
Snoop, help us out, bro. Somebody. Welcome in, Austin. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. You're an hour late, sir. But we love you for being here. Welcome in. Even Harvard Lab says welcome in. Now, I was not picking on you when I was picking on Oklahoma, Austin. I love you, bro. Just remember that. You're a very
Austin's
smart
great.
guy. Yeah, absolutely. I love
Austin's
all of
great.
my friends from Oklahoma. I just hate the rules, man. I hate that they are. I see a lot that's going on. Oh, believe it or not, I know a lot about Oklahoma and the laws over there. I do a lot of paying attention over here.
We have
And
some
you
of the
guys are
cheapest
getting
utilities.
fucked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oklahoma.
we got some good candidates, though. Make sure you guys get out and vote this year because you gotta make some changes around over there, man. Woo.
Well, whatever affects us, our argument is whatever affects us here, because we have probably the cheapest utilities and the cheapest land. Whatever affects us here is going to affect all the other states and cannabis use there, in my opinion, because
Yeah,
you
and
know
if
it's being
anyone
smuggled out of here.
and if anyone is watching from Georgia, we really need to be smart with who we choose for our agricultural commissioner, because we're one of the #1 states in agriculture. So we definitely want someone who's more into local cannabis here, which is probably not the current one.
They're all.
It
They're all-
happens.
It's a little
Yeah,
low. It comes in a
they're-
little container. It's called a Breva. A Breva. It's like $20. You get 2 of them for $20. You put it right on that cold sore, buddy. It'll be gone in an hour or 2.
Would you ask Chat GPT that?
No, the big guy suffers from herpes all the time. The slob.
Nice.
I ratted you out, dude. Yeah. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are amazing. Skunky, take care of that lip. Aviva and Scribbles, thank you so much for being here. Mo and Jeff, you guys are amazing. We have a great show scheduled for next week. I got no idea what it's about, but Jeff will tell me soon, and then we'll figure it out. I'll post it up, and you guys should all come back and make sure you go check out the YouTube page if you're over here on the Facebook.
Great, thank
It's
you.
WTHC-radio. Go like, subscribe. Oh, we got number 840. That's
See y'all. Thanks for coming.
that's 420 twice.
Thanks,
840
Contaminated.
today.
Thanks, Skunky. Thanks, Aviva.
All right,
Yeah,
everybody.
y'all.
Peace,
Thank you,
love,
Aviva.
hippie hugs, and a whole shitload of nugs. Till
Oh.
next time. Oh, wrong button.
Beat
Till
myself
next time.
again.
We out. Baby.
No script, no rules, just jokes on blast. Stories flying way too fast. If you're bored, well, not no more. 'Cause here we go at 4 o'clock sharp. You hear that knock? That's the fun at the door. Tuesday at 4, yeah, we're hanging out. Got your belly skunky friends all around talking nonsense. Laughing loud, best